comes to that voice, that you call it spirit, and for some people they may have religious beliefs, it could be God, but in what gives us a sense of purpose and what can drive us to get out of our comfort zone, to take that risk, to get up and give the talk, to put your hand up for a bigger job, to have that difficult conversation. It's so easy to play safe and to go, oh, my ego, let's not put the ego on the line. So I know for me, having a really clear sense of purpose really helps me to be courageous, because even though I'm terrified things mightn't work out well, I'm even more terrified or more afraid of how I'll feel if I don't take action. I just don't want to sit there thinking, what if? I'd rather look back and go, well, at least I know I gave it a go. So when it comes to actually helping ourselves get out of our comfort zone, get out of our own way, get past that self-doubt, what have you found is helpful for you and for other women that you've worked with?
So again, we know from the studies that women do much better when we advocate for other people rather than for ourselves. So we do much better in negotiating pay rises. If we imagine that, we're kind of putting a stake in the sand for other women around us who then might get paid what they're worth, or if we think about we're doing it for our families rather than just we're doing it for us. We're much better at leading teams when we think about how we're advocating for the team or advocating for our clients rather than just doing it for us. So we definitely respond more when we have that sense of purpose to drive our actions. Simon Sinek, who's one of the world's leading researchers in leadership, has a great challenge for finding purpose, and it's so simple, but it's certainly helped me, and it's one I use a lot in my coaching. And the sentence goes like this: everything I do is to, so that. And the challenge is to complete the gaps. So mine goes something like this: everything I do is to bring out the best in myself and others so that I can help make the world a little kinder. Now I get that it's a bit dorky, but it gets me out of bed each day. Right?
No, it's great.
It's mine, and it only has to matter to me. So I think for a lot of us, trying to figure out that sentence actually takes more work than it sounds. Everything I do is to, so that. But when we fill in those gaps, it's much easier to get clear on our purpose and why we're doing these things, why we take that courageous step and put ourselves in situations that aren't always comfortable.
Yeah, and I think it's so easy to downplay, discount, deny the cost of inaction. To say, oh, well, it's not so bad the way it is. The status quo is fine. My job's not that bad. At least I have a job. My marriage isn't that bad. I mean, it doesn't beat me that often, or, whatever it is. And we can really come up with all sorts of justifications about not to do the very thing that would actually give us a greater sense of meaning and purpose and success. So I think being clear about, everything I do, it provides a real compass, doesn't it?
It does. It's kind of a North Star, if you like, and it really guides my days. And I've found, again, when we use this as a coaching exercise for people, it helps you start to prioritise kind of what needs doing and what doesn't. Is this taking me closer towards that purpose, or is it moving me away from it? And that, I think, helps get over the hesitation and that feeling of, it's a bit easier to sit back and not take the risks. Of, am I moving towards that purpose, or actually am I moving away from it simply by the fact that I'm choosing not to act? So it's a really simple way of getting tuned in to what you want to show up and do. You only get this one life. We only get today one time, so make it count.